This is a sample video on how to take a popular piece, even Christmas, and do something with it. Improvise, arrange, whatever you want to call it. But take, for instance, Silent Night, which is the usual way it's played. Well, instead of having the third down here, put the third up here. Okay? Instead of having a chord here, then no chord in the left hand here, in both hands. Now you could go make an F chord, F, A, but if you keep it, well, how about a D? Isn't that a pretty one? Also, on the first chord here, add the ninth. Very pretty. I don't care too much for that though. Isn't that interesting that you've got a cluster of notes here and that sounds really pretty? Okay. This you have to have training to do this. Ninths, 11ths, 13ths, inversions, various things. But there's so much that can be done with a simple piece, but there's so many choices that can be made. You know, you could do or you could do maybe you know, I don't know. You sort of have to judge for yourself what sounds really pretty, but one or something that just doesn't sound well at all. I didn't like that. But this is my point. You experiment. As I've said before, you don't learn to improvise. You don't learn to do this. You do this to learn. And you find out whatever that I did there. I didn't like it. Well, so let's try something else. Now, what this sounds like, it sounds much more modern than your textbook. Also, it has a little sparkle to it. You know, Christmas trees, they have lights, they sparkle. Tinsel sparkles. If you can get your music to sparkle a little bit, sort of sparkles a little bit. Your ninths. Where is it? There's the ninth right there. Instead, directly. Or experimenting around what you already know. You know you got C major. Well, put your F chord here. But if you go up, instead of keeping a C here, go up to a D. All of a sudden you've got a D minor chord here. D, F, A, C. Seventh in the bass. Alright, so you go from a one chord, a tonic, to a supertonic, to a supertonic with the seventh in the bass. I think that sounds gorgeous, and it's very much in keeping with the piece. Okay, there's many things you can do, but as I say, it takes training. Once you get the training though, then you take it and, or any popular piece, and do something with it. Your classics are entirely different matter. But they're based upon the same things, you know, D flat major, D flat, F, A flat, you know. There's an E flat minor with a 7th in the bass. Again, to see these things takes training in your classics. The Bach Solfeggetto, C minor. What is this scale? What is that scale? Well, you should be able to analyze it, take a look at it, and then when you play it, by learning it, you'll never forget it, really. Because then it modulates. G minor. And this scale is the same scale that I used in this on C major. Then it goes to F minor. This scale is the same thing, is the same scale as I used for C major and G minor. But what is it? I don't think many people know. One more thing before I close up here. The wonderful piece by Vince Garibaldi, who wrote the music for Charlie Brown's Christmas. It's called it's Christmas Time. Yeah, it's easy enough, but again, very few people would know how to do that or what notes to play. And it's rather easy, actually. Now, starting on the G, which is the 3rd of E flat, or the 2nd note of F, whichever one you look at, well, there's your F major scale. And your thumb here, and then your chromatic to here. Now, that sounds, you know, like a 2nd grade. How about putting... Now, this chord here looks like an A minor, but when you put an F with it, it becomes an F major 7 chord, and you add your 5th. There's that cluster again. What do I have? The 9th, which is the same thing as the 2nd, the 3rd, and the augmented 4th, which is the melody. Now, instead of going from here, which is your D flat, directly as the music, stepwise to it. You know, you just don't go from one place to another place all of a sudden. There's transitions that you have. So that would be much more preferable. That's not the music. It's not the way that music wrote it. Not in the music. You got this. Then you go to the B flat minor. Everything is down a half a step. Your minor 7th. But then he comes to this. Then a circle progression, which is G to C to F. If you don't know the key circle, that's another thing you'll have to be trained at. Another pretty chord, F major 9 chord. Now if you're going to the middle section, it goes to D flat, but why go directly there? You're here, Now F, see, just 2 whole steps, gets down there. Move though from one place to another place, and it's so much more interesting, it's so much more beautiful, it's so much more satisfying. The ending of the piece, you come to this, and then you go into B flat, and then D flat. Alright, he goes from a B flat to a D flat to a G flat. If you notice that these 3 notes form a G flat major triad. So those are the notes you're playing, and then you finish it up on F. Okay, let's say you have your minor 7th here. From the 3rd, play a D minor 7. Again, this looks, by itself, looks like a D minor 7. Minor 3rd, minor 7th. But put a B flat with it, and it becomes a 3rd, 5th, major 7th, and 9th. There's your major chord, major 7th on D flat. Now you want the major 7th on G flat. And from the 3rd here, a minor chord. This is a favorite of mine. Up 5 notes to C and up another 5 notes to G, which makes this the 9th of the F chord. And then you got your 9th up here, and that looks like an A minor chord over an F major. And then you put the 3rd only, again with this 5th and 5th, and your last note. Those are just some of the little things that make life interesting, so to speak, at the piano. And you don't do things the same way. Things should always change. You should be able to do things differently. For instance, that chord, that last part, you should be able to do that around the circle. Doing different things with it is the name of the game. Otherwise, all you're doing is memorizing, and you're playing in a textbook fashion, which is terribly dull and terribly ordinary. But when you do things like I'm showing you here, it brings music to life. And I think it'll bring life to your face too, in your ears, when you start doing some of these things. Let me know if I can help. Thanks for listening. We'll talk later. Bye-bye.